Hello, this is Angela with Permaculture. Just a beautiful late August evening. I haven't made a video in a few days because things have been kind of chaos here at home. And I've been trying to pick up some side work and deal with family obligations, so I've been slow to make videos. But I wanted to make one this evening and just kind of chat for a few minutes about some thoughts I had. So I was thinking a lot about the societal structure and things that make permaculture seem more feasible in some places in the world than others, and what we can do to mitigate or ease the pressures that make it hard for people to access permaculture. Some of them are relatively simple, right? Like, it's easier to do permaculture in the climate of Hawaii or Costa Rica than it is, or Portland, Oregon, than it is in, like New Mexico or, Sub-Sahara or, north of the Arctic Circle. While y'all are watching, this is one of my poodles. She thinks she's stalking the ducks, so they're on the other side of the fence. They're safe. But there are other less kind of easily accessible or easily identifiable factors that really limit people's ability to access permaculture and a sustainable way of living, and to really take that leap to make life changes. So I've been thinking a lot about this. I've been watching a lot of Happen films in the evening while I do mending, and I love Happen films. They are a company out of Australia that makes films about permaculture and sustainable living and tiny houses and things like that. And I've been watching a lot of their videos, and one thing that I've found really interesting is coming from the perspective of an Australian, how different that is than myself here in America. So for me, a really, really big barrier to doing permaculture more full-time and accessing that, and I know a barrier for a lot of people, is that in America we don't have universal health care. And I think that's a really big one, and a big reason people are afraid to quit a rat race job that they loathe and feel is unsustainable or contributes to problems rather than solutions, is because they need the health care. So in our country, your health care is linked to your employment, and it can radically alter when you change jobs, right? So if you're looking at employment that you need to change so you can move to a location where your permaculture property is, or you want to work part-time so that you can work part-time on establishing your food forest and building community connections. It's not often possible in America, and it seems really easy to be glib about it and to just say, I'm gonna cast everything off from this capitalist consumerist way of living and I'm gonna go live a permaculture lifestyle. That's really easy until you end up with a chronic health condition or a serious injury and you find yourself completely bankrupt. So I've been listening and watching these Happen Films videos, and in Australia they have universal health care. And I think that's one of the reasons that permaculture is more approachable for people, because they know that they can reduce their income and maybe not work full-time out of the house and live kind of a homesteady or permaculture lifestyle, reduce their need to interact with a consumerist society, and they still have healthcare. And that's just not possible where I live. So, especially because we have 4 children. So I've been thinking about this a lot, like what are some of the barriers that really impact us in America? So that's one, access to healthcare. And I'm gonna pick this tomato in here. So that's a big one. I've talked before about access to land, and we can go back and look at that video if you want to. Yeah, so I think when I'm thinking about my present circumstances and what we're going through as a family, and some of the issues that really keep us from living a lifestyle that we feel is fully regenerative and a lifestyle that we really, really want to live, access to healthcare is a big one. And I think it's interesting when you look at permaculture design and how if we look at permaculture design in terms of redesigning all of society, as well as redesigning how we do agriculture, having a universal healthcare model is something that has ramifications not just for the person's specific access to healthcare, but also for their lifestyle choices in general. It gives you a freedom to step out and take risks and do permaculture and seek sustainable ways of living because you know that your healthcare is covered. So it's just something that I'm thinking about if we want to embrace permaculture and how it is divesting ourselves from a non-sustainable way of living. And we want to, I'm going to go make sure these dogs aren't getting in the chicken run here. And we want to go and try something new and experiment with more sustainable and regenerative ways of living that we need to be able to have a safety net if we take risks. So anyway, I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I know a lot of people in permaculture are probably shocked if they're not from America to hear that our healthcare situation here is just abysmal, and that people find themselves completely trapped and unable to access and reach out and formulate more sustainable ways of being and living, and to really embrace permaculture as much as they would like to because of the restrictions and really messed up system of healthcare that we have in this country. So when I think about designing for solutions, and in permaculture we look for slow, small solutions. I think one simple solution that is not small, it is huge and would have a huge impact on people's lives is making universal healthcare a reality for all peoples. So, all right, those are my thoughts on that, since I'm struggling with that in my life right now. And I will be back with more on gardening. I am going to hopefully keep posting. I'm also really want to thank those of you that have become patrons on my Patreon. I'm going to make an end card here. I'm sorry that I have been a little remiss in getting back to everybody that has become a sponsor. I'm just struggling with employment issues for our family and caregiving obligations, and it's just been, real life. So thank you for your patience, and I really, really appreciate your patronage. It means a lot to me, and it helps me keep making these videos. So I want to say thank you, and I will do that more in depth in the next video. So hope you all are safe. Hope you all have good access to healthcare and that you stay healthy and well. Thanks.